Welcome back to TYT Sports. Francis Maxwell, Lindsay McCormick and Ben Goldstein's here joining us. We're talking Josh Sammons, but if you want to see more UFC fights, tracking upcoming events, go to The Cage. It is an app to download and check out all the details on that in the description below. So a bit of a serious matter here with Josh Sammons fighting on, is it his girlfriend's birthday?
Yes,
He's fighting it.
His late girlfriend's birthday.
His late girlfriend's birthday. A really tragic story. The details behind it is that his girlfriend died in a car accident, and it was she died while she was texting on her phone, and the last text was from Josh. Do you know more about the details from that? I know it's a tragic event. I can't even imagine what's going through that guy's head. But
she passed away about a year ago. I know he also lost 2 other people in his life, so it's been a really rough year for him.
Yeah.
But he's been able to channel it into something positive.
Yeah.
And like we saw this past weekend, it worked for him.
It's incredible to see someone like that overcome this adversity and win a fight. And you could see how much it meant to him in the end. And he won it in style. What did you think about the fight in general, Ben? That roundhouse kick was something special.
Yeah, I mean, and beyond all the personal strife and the tragic loss of his girlfriend, you got to remember he's been dealing with injuries since April of last year when he won his last fight at a tough finale. Yeah. So he's been grieving. He's been rehabbing his body. He's been questioning whether he even wants to keep fighting as an MMA fighter. He's finally convinced to take this fight. His camp, sort of picked him back up. He begged UFC matchmaker Joe Silva to get him a spot at UFC 181 because, as he said, December 6th was actually his girlfriend's birthday. That fight was a tribute to her. And that's why his reaction to scoring that knockout was so raw and emotional.
Yeah.
It was a very powerful moment. And on any level, it's one of the greatest knockouts of the year.
Yeah.
He said that he wanted to do like a Mark Hunt style walk-off knockout. Do you think he made Mark Hunt proud?
Absolutely. It's funny you mention that because I was thinking that when he hit that knockout, if you watch it in super slow motion, he started walking away before Eddie Gordon's body had even hit the mat. It's like he knew it as soon as he connected. He started walking off. So absolutely, that is a Mark Hunt style walk-off knockout. Hunt would be proud, and it's fantastic.
So, there's a quote here. You can just see like the emotion that he was talking about. He says, after the tragic incident, he said he was just lost fighting in the UFC. Once a distant dream didn't seem so important anymore. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to even be here anymore. So, you look at those powerful words and then you see a guy come back and win a fight in such style. It's inspiring. It's inspiring to see. There's people out there who face very similar tragedies. And you have to grieve and then channel that to try and overcome it. And if you see what he's done here, he's focused on it in the right way to try and help him get better at a sport that he loves.
It's like Torrey Smith, I guess it was 2 years ago when he lost one of his family members to score those 2 touchdowns in that game. It just was powerful and something that I'm sure a lot of people across America could connect to.
Yes, and it's just amazing for me. So what do you think about Josh Sammons? What's next for him in the UFC?
Well, I think that head kick is going to get him noticed. He's got a lot of work to do in a pretty deep middleweight division. It's not going to launch him into contendership, but he'll get another step up the ladder. And I think if he can stay healthy and consistent, he could definitely be a factor in the 185-pound division down the road.
All right, well, and a final quote from Josh Sammons. For me, I read this and I just took it on board. It's like, I figured that I'd been miserable long enough and it was time to take some steps to assert myself and get back to my own life. So powerful words for him. Congratulations to Josh Sammons taking back into the UFC world in style. So thanks again, Ben Goldstein, for joining us. Make sure to check Ben out, cagepotato.com. Thanks for joining us, Lindsay. What's your social media? We're checking the link below.
It is LindsayM_sports
Lindsay
on Twitter.
_sports on Twitter. And subscribe to TYT Sports for more UFC and MMA talking action.